What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we have some Detroit Lions news and also some Lions rumors about Matthew Stafford and where he could end up. So let's get it started.
You know, I got to shout out DoseOfDion, man, because it was actually the first time I went live on YouTube. And, you know, guys don't know DoseOfDion. He put out a lot of good content for the Detroit Lions.
Welcome everybody to the video. Glad you guys are here. And we're back with another update to the Detroit Lions coaching staff. Man, they have stole another guy from another team for the same coaching position. It's unfair at this point. Look, they told us. They straight up told us that coaches would be running to work with Dan Campbell. And that's what it seems like. It really does. This coach has left Chicago to have the same role in Detroit to work with Dan Campbell. This is the linebacker coach for the Chicago Bears, Mark Deleone. I think it's Mark Deleone, okay? All that buildup, if I said his name wrong, I'll take the L for that. I think his name is Mark Deleone, but he is the linebacker coach for the Chicago Bears. Now, what's interesting here is I don't think he's a former player. From what I've seen, I don't think he's a former player, which is weird because that's been all over hiring. So I guess you have one guy that's not a former player, but he's done a very good job the last couple of years as a linebacker coach. So it makes sense why he's a guy that the Lions were targeting. But for him to leave Chicago, which is awesome because that's an NFC North team, and join us, I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. Does it get any better than that? No, it does not. All right, so let's talk about Mark Deleone a little bit, and then I'll update you on the Matthew Stafford situation. Okay, so Mark Deleone is a linebacker coach that's worked on the defensive side of the ball. Back to college where he worked with multiple teams, including Iowa, New Hampshire, Florida, Temple. Then he got to start in the NFL with the New York Jets as a defensive assistant, then the Kansas City Chiefs as a defensive quality control coach. Then he became an assistant linebacker coach, then an inside linebacker coach with the Chiefs and then the Chicago Bears, and now he's with the Detroit Lions. So specifically with the inside linebackers. And you look at the Lions inside linebackers right now. We got a lot of question marks. Jelani Tavai, will he be? I mean, you could call Jelani Tavai an inside linebacker, or a guy like Jamie Collins potentially, right? Jared Davis. We know we don't have his fifth-year option picked up. A lot of questions there. Okay, Reggie Ragland, potentially, depending on how you use him. A lot of question marks on what the Lions are going to do with the linebacker group. So it is good to have a good linebacker coach. And this one has specifically been working with those inside linebackers. Now, will the Lions play 3-4? Will they play 4-3? Will they play both? I don't know what they're going to play next season. But when you take a look at the last 3 years, when he's been an inside linebacker coach, working with Kansas City and with the Chicago Bears, you take a look at some of the guys that he's worked with. All right, go back to Kansas City in 2018. Now, this is before they made that flip defensively to a different scheme. But with Kansas City, in 2018, he had Anthony Hitchens with 133 total tackles, leading the team, and Reggie Ragland with 86 total tackles. Our Reggie Ragland was balling out. I think that's important because that could be a way back for Reggie Ragland to the Detroit Lions. Like I said, this is before they changed the scheme in Kansas City and before he kind of just fell out of the rotation. In 2018, he was doing a very good job, and that was with Mark Deleone as the linebacker coach, inside linebacker coach. Then the last 2 seasons with the Chicago Bears, he's gotten the most, specifically last season, out of a guy like Roquan Smith. This was a beast last season. Take a look at 2019. Roquan Smith, his first year as the inside linebacker coach with Chicago Bears, has 101 total tackles, has an interception. Nick Kwiatkowski, 76 total tackles. He has an interception. Danny Trevathan has 70 tackles. These are all inside linebackers. But then this past year, Roquan Smith, as an inside linebacker, 139 total tackles, 2 interceptions, 4 sacks. Man, those are some nice stats. And second, Danny Trevathan now with 113 tackles from 70. All right, you can see the improvement from those linebackers. So obviously can help you when it comes to potential ties in free agency with teams that he's worked with because he's worked all over the place, especially at the college level. But really, I think this is big for Reggie Ragland, number one, because Reggie Ragland may be very excited to work with him again. But what he's done with the inside linebacker position is great, and the Lions need help there, but not a former player. So interesting. It looks like the Lions have finally kind of broke, that streak of getting all former players, unless he was, and I just can't find it. It doesn't look like he's a former player. But welcome, Mark, to the Detroit Lions. I also think this could be a big impact for a guy like Jared Davis as well, because Jared Davis, who we didn't pick up his fifth year option with the last regime, he wasn't drafted for the last regime. And you see how Dan Campbell speaks of Jared Davis. He sounds like he'd be interested in bringing him back. So you get a good inside linebacker coach, which Jared Davis could potentially use. Now you might be going somewhere with it, with Reggie Ragland, with Jared Davis. And like I said, man, with better coaching, the same players that struggled before look way better. That goes with Jelani Tavai. I mean, that goes with all of these guys that really struggled linebacker group. They could look much better with better coaching. I mean, coaching can change a lot of different things. So what we saw last season may not be what we see this season, depending on how well the coaching does. And also another thing that I've noticed with those top guys I talked about, like Anthony Hitchens, Nick Witkowski, I mean, Danny Trevathan, all these dudes got paid, right? They got some paydays. None of these guys are set to become free agents. So he's definitely like done some really good with things with these linebackers because now they're getting paid some big bread. And hey, you just got to feel good for them. So yeah.
Show me the money.
Mark Deleone to me is going to be a quality coach. And I know everybody is, out there kind of saying that, so I could just bank on that. But when you see how he helped Reggie Ragland with Kansas City, like we talked about the numbers, well, he really helped him adjust. Anthony Hitchens adjust. They changed the scheme in Kansas City. But when you see what Anthony Hitchens did with Dallas, and then when he came to Kansas City to work 1 year with this linebacker coach, it's not all him. But it is impressive. I mean, the 1 year with Dallas, 84 total tackles before he gets there, right? He's got 84 total tackles, and then he gets his opportunity with Kansas City. So he joins this linebacker coach, Mark Deleone, and in the 1 year with Mark Deleone, 135 total tackles. The year Mark leaves, back down to 88. Yes, scheme is a very big factor, but still, you got to give him credit. Same thing with Reggie Ragland. With him, 86 total tackles. First year without, down to 30. All right. Again, he was almost out of the rotation at that point. Just big difference in scheme, but also he deserves credit for helping the guys adjust to what they were playing in and really getting the best out of them. I mean, think about it. Deuce Staley had interest from Chicago and the Lions. He chose the Lions. Now we take this guy from Chicago for the same role. People are running over to work with Dan Campbell. Other news we have isn't a coaching hire, but instead it's a coach that's staying here for the Detroit Lions. It's an assistant coach. It is our tight end coach, Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson will remain our tight end coach. Now, I think this has to do a lot because Dan Campbell already knows him. So they worked together when he was in Miami. In Miami, Ben Johnson worked there as a wide receiver coach and assistant quarterback coach. So now he comes to Detroit. He's working as a quality control man, and then he gets promoted in 2020, this past season, as the tight end coach. And with the tight ends this year, we know TJ Hockenson was a Pro Bowler. We saw the huge leap he took, which usually you kind of see from tight ends anyways, but he took a huge leap. You got to give him credit. Hunter Bryant, we know he's up and coming. Jesse James. So you have consistency with the tight end position, which is nice, but he's familiar with Dan Campbell from their time at Miami, which makes sense as to why they would keep, him on the staff because they already know each other, right? They probably already got along. Ben Johnson was in Miami. He helped Albert Wilson kind of, put his name on the map. He helped Jarvis Landry really take off as a receiver. He also worked with Ryan Tannehill as the assistant quarterback coach. And now with the Lions, what he's doing with our tight ends this past season from the year before, I feel like was a pretty nice jump. It's almost complete at this point, okay? Maybe a couple more moves here and there. We'll kind of see what happens, but it's really coming together right now, and I really do like the coaching staff it's strong on paper. Will it work out? I'm not sure, but it seems strong on paper. I do like it, and people seem to be interested to come here. So what's going on with old Matthew Stafford? Well, here's the inside rumor that I've gotten most recently is that apparently the San Francisco 49ers are in the lead for Matthew Stafford slightly. Now, we don't know what they've offered the Detroit Lions, but they're slightly in the lead for Stafford. They haven't told us where Matthew wants to go either, which could be a very big impact on where he's ended up gets traded to, because I'm sure the Lions will listen to where he wants to go. They should. But the San Francisco 49ers are supposed to be in the lead, and the thought is, we don't know what they've offered. The thought is it's at least a first round pick that they have offered. I believe San Francisco has the 12th pick in this year's draft. So at least the first round pick. Hopefully that keeps going up. Hopefully the bidding war keeps going. I know some people have told me that the Saints have also reached out to the Detroit Lions. I'm told once again that 1/3 of the league has reached out for Matthew Stafford. 1/3 of the league. What I think makes this even more crazy is what could happen with Aaron Rodgers, right? Aaron Rodgers, another NFC North quarterback. What's his future like? I mean, I definitely didn't think that there was any way that he would be with Green Bay, but it just seemed like after the statements and then people drawing the conclusions, the drafting Jordan Love and, the not going for it on fourth down, that kind of thing. Now, all of a sudden, that's in question. I mean, I saw this quote from Aaron Rodgers. A lot of guys' future is in question, including myself. And I'm like, oh, snap. That doesn't sound good. I don't think he'll be traded. I don't think he'll be out, but you never know. And if that happens, now you're looking at two of the top quarterbacks in the AFC North gone just like that. What now? And if Aaron Rodgers and Deshaun Watson, both of those guys don't become available, now that could drive Matthew Stafford's price even higher, because now you're saying, okay, there's really one guy. There's this great quarterback in Stafford. The free agency class is pretty bad, and the draft is, you never know. So if we need a quarterback, it's either this guy or it's draft, basically. And you don't know what you're going to get there. And especially for those teams that are trying to be contenders, the only guy that could be available for those for trade, because the draft wouldn't make sense, is Stafford. So that drives his price even higher, which for us as Lions fans is kind of what we're hoping for. Unless you want Rodgers out of the NFC North, and that could also be what you're hoping for. Right now, it seems like every team is making pushes for Matthew Stafford. I mean, I see this from Harrison for the Patriots, basically stating why he would fit perfectly with the New England Patriots and why that should be a trade done. I mean, if the rumors are true that the Saints have actually discussed about Stafford, I mean, it's crazy how much interest this guy is drawing. 1/3, look, hey, look, he's going to be a hot commodity because it's not very often you get a guy like Matthew Stafford with 2 years left on his deal, which is actually not insane, like in the same contract for teams to take on, that can come available. It's not very often you get a guy like this that comes available. People know how difficult it is to find a quarterback, and there's a lot of teams right now that are saying, man, if we can land him, it's a major upgrade, and we can make a push. There's a reason so many teams are interested in. He's a good quarterback, and right now the 49ers may be the leader. Matthew Stafford in San Francisco, I think, would be a good fit. I think San Francisco's, I don't know what's top on his list, but I think San Francisco would be a really good fit for Matthew Stafford. I mean, you're talking about a team in San Fran that just went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo just a little bit back, and you put Stafford there, like, to me, that's a major upgrade at that position. To me, Matthew Stafford's a major upgrade. That's a team that's very well built. They're very well coached. I think that would be a nice spot for Matthew Stafford. Now, it's a very tough division, but you know San Francisco wants to get back to win that division. Also, some of the other top teams, Indianapolis. I feel like it's a great fit for Indianapolis, right? Indianapolis, they got the nice stadium. They're a very good team. Phillip Rivers is going to retire. And if the Saints are actually interested in Matthew Stafford, like we've heard, with Drew Brees that could likely retire, they only have the 28th pick in the first round of this year's draft. But if you want to make it happen, you make it happen. If they still believe that they have this window of opportunity to still push for a Super Bowl and they don't want to miss out, this is the one guy that you could bring in to potentially try to make that happen. So, yeah, we'll see where he goes, but teams are interested, and it doesn't surprise me one bit, all right? Hopefully we get a huge return. And, yeah, Mark, welcome to Detroit. It's good to have you on the staff. This staff is looking nice. Let me know your thoughts, comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'm out.